if you were Nigeria's Minister of Power for just one day, what would be your priority or what would you do? This one says, good afternoon, my name is John from Ikeja. And it says, if I was to become the Minister of Power for one day, I will arrest everybody that takes a light.
That's almost in the line of.
Thank you very much, John. Wait, there's another message here. This one says, good afternoon, Odogo Billy Billy. Thank you very much for this question. It said, if I was to become the Minister for Power, I will first of all arrest everyone that has generator. Then I will give free lights. So now, hold on.
How will we sustain that?
Now, this one says, good afternoon, my name is Mary from Ladipo. For me, I will arrest the previous Minister for Power.
Violence everywhere. Everybody's just going to violence.
Then
why?
Ask questions. How do they even take the light? Mary from Ladipo. Permit me to welcome into the studio. I have Lanre. He's in the studio as well. He was here last week and we talked very, very well. We had a lot of calls as well. And I have the man who has been away on some, political assignments. He's back. He's back in the studio. I have up with me as well. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good to have you guys. You guys are always looking fresh. I actually envy you guys.
And by the way, you see, I think back in those years, there used to be more power supply when there's rainfall because the dam has more water.
Yes.
But in recent times, you see, our lights, you're going to be like candle lights. Say, if rain they fall like this, you go off out. So once you hear thunder like this, I beg off out more before transformer blow.
But now the case is different now. There is no power at all. Rain or not, there is no power. I can say, Craig, that I have been home twice, and I haven't seen light at all. So it's either one side we have or maybe on the other side we don't have. And yes, I'm
beginning to think that you need to work on your people's skills. And I'm calling you out on radio. Let me tell you why. Your neighbor always has lights. Just stop. Just have conversation with this guy. I need to meet this your neighbor. For you not to have lights and your neighbor always has lights, it means you've not built a proper interpersonal relationship with this your neighbor.
Hey, maybe he's afraid. He is staying in one room apartment, so maybe he's afraid if I plug my.
Hey, see now, you're not demand by scatter the whole setup he has.
Okay, guys. So today there's a very, very important question, on the table, and I'm going to open the phone line immediately. 36 minutes gone past the hour of 3. It is Talking What, proudly brought to you by Revocubes Energies, and the question is: if you were Nigeria's Minister of Power for just one day, what would be your priority or what would you do? Larry came inside and he came in with violence. He said he's going to pack everybody there. I don't know who he wants to pack.
No, don't implicate me on radio.
Ope came inside and said he's going to change things. He spoke like a clear politician that
with sweet talks.
My fellow Nigerians, this is what I'm going to do. But I want to ask them fully now. I will start with Larry.
Okay.
Larry, if you were to be the Minister of Power for just one day, what would you do? But let me call the phone number out: 0913 600 410. Again, 0913 600 410. If you were to be the Minister of Power for one day, what would you do as a Nigerian or as a Lagosian? While we're expecting your call, let me take Larry's thoughts.
So my thought, first of all, discard whatever I said before the show started.
No, let's not discard. It's on record already.
Discard it.
It's recording already.
It should never be recorded somewhere. But I think the Nigerian energy terrain is like three major segments, right? Generation, distribution, and transmission. Distribution, they are struggling. Yeah, they are doing their best. Generation, super. Generation is coming up, ramping up almost every day. But the generated power is not efficiently distributed and getting to the last mile through the transmission lines. So if I'm there for one day, I'm not sure if a policy can be created or managed one day, but I will focus policies around transmission lines. Okay. Because I think it's quite expensive and government might not be able to do it alone. So if there can be policies that can clearly show investors that if you come in, you get this, these are the concessions, these are the benefits and your return on investment, that will be worth the while and to be stable, not that one want government to come next day and turn it over. So there should, if that clarity is there, I'll provide that clarity of policy and guidelines. That's what I'll do. Focusing on transmission. Generation will take care of itself. Distribution will become efficient when transmission is sorted. So that's my own take.
All right. So for me, Ope, what would you do for one day?
All right. If I'm
you will share free energy token. He's a politician.
If I'm to be Minister of Power for one day, I think what I would focus on is to just create that alternative. Let's just focus on alternative. So the truth is, yes, we are generating. Yes, there's transmission challenge, and of course the end users. However, I think when we have, given the current realities, what's that reality? That our population is increasing, and there is a need for alternative power. That's it. So, question: just do policies around alternative power. Let it flow. Allow people to be innovative in how they generate power, and gradually, I believe that we can catch up with our energy.
So, if I was to understand what you said, you're going to give everybody free solar panel.
No, it's not necessarily that. I said there will be policy.
That's how it sounded.
There will be policy that will aid, alternative power. Meaning that.
So, what is that alternative power?
There are several alternative powers.
Mention one.
No, we mentioned CNG. We mentioned.
So you give me free CNG.
But by the way, I saw a joke on social media. A lady said that most of her friends and guys she knew that converted their car from petrol to CNG. They're not going back to convert it back to full petrol. And I was wondering what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's the gas. That people who changed their, remember there was a time people were changing their generator to gas.
Even vehicles. Somebody said that CNG is also becoming a major, I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on in the market. I don't drive CNG vehicles. But somebody was saying that the cost, when they are weighing now, they're looking like, it's like this thing is not looking like how it's supposed to look. So the cost and the queues, I think they said they were queues.
Yeah, I think it's
trying to
queues.
So they're just like, okay, I better just switch back to my petrol fully. All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, like I said about alternatives. So the issue is that when population is increasing and people are getting much more agitated about, energy and then the availability of energy, what is important to do is that, everybody, we give you that policy to say that, hey, if you can come up with an alternative power, whichever way, let us look into it, let us invest into it so that we are not just dependent on one source of energy. And I think that's what is our reality.
Diversification of energy for energy security. Yes.
Okay, so there's a message here. This one says, "Good afternoon. My name is John from Ikeja, and this was while Lanre was talking. Yes. It says, if I was to become the Minister of Power for one day, I will arrest everybody that takes a light."
That's almost in the line of.
Thank you very much, John. Wait, there's another message here. This one says, hold on. This one says, "Good afternoon, Odogo Billy Billy. Thank you very much for this question." It says, if I was to become, he didn't put his name. He said, if I was to become the Minister for Power, I will first of all arrest everyone that has generator. Then I will give free lights. So now, hold on.
How will we sustain that?
Now there's a call. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What is your name and why are you calling us from?
Honorable Minister.
I am Honorable Minister John.
All right. No be lie. All right. Minister, go ahead, sir. So what would you do for one day?
I think we have been suffering of the grid collapse. So for me, I will just make sure that we have a stable grid collapse. There is no constant collapsing of the grid every time.
All right. Thank you very much, Minister, for sharing your thoughts there. All right. She says that he will make sure that the grid is stable and it doesn't collapse anymore.
There's a question I want to ask. Question: what causes grid collapse?
All right. So let me explain how it works.
Lack of cement. Maybe you have no cement.
So the grid is made up of multiple systems working synchronously. So somebody's generating somewhere in Jeba, someone's generating Shiroro. So all of them are just like multiple generators working in synchronized, like they are working in harmony.
Yes.
You see, when you are playing music in harmony and some spirit just descend on somebody playing keyboard that's supposed to maybe supposed to play pam pam and just play pam 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 pam, the entire system like, what's going on? What's this guy playing? In a bit of that disturbance can shut down the entire system. So disturbance can be in terms of excessive load, high over frequency, low. It's a very technical system. Frequency can be too high, can be too low, and sometimes voltage. So a whole lot of things can disturb the
following question would be that when would we get it right in terms of this syncing?
Okay, well, while we are
That's
trying
part
to
of
get
it.
it
That's
right,
part of it.
this one says, "Good afternoon. My name is Mary from Ladipo. For me, I will arrest the previous Minister for Power."
Violence everywhere.
Everybody's just going
Arrest
to
the
violence, right?
Then
Why?
ask questions. How do they even take the light? Mary from Ladipo. Thank you very much, Mary. I also wonder too whether there's a switch. They just go.
So there will
switch
be
it on
switch. I don't know,
and switch it off.
I don't know, but let me just explain.
I
how
wanted
it
to
works.
ask the disco guy at that time, how do people take the light?
So let me explain. You see, let me explain. I don't know so first disclaimer, I don't know exactly how it works, but this is what comes to my mind. Let's say you have a 100 kVA generator and you're trying to power a street, different buildings, different loads. Their load demand is more than that 100 kVA generator. That means you can't have everybody on at the same time. So what you do is that, for example, maybe from house 1 to house 5, they work from home. And from house 5, house 6 to house 10, they stay at home. So what you just do is that in the morning, when the house 1 to 5 want to resume, you on their own breaker and off the light off. Because you can't put on everybody. You overwork, generator will shut down. That means nobody will have the light. So I guess that's actually the concept behind load shedding and why power goes up and on.
Okay, so while we're still waiting for the calls and the messages to come in, thank you so much to everyone who are sending in their messages and planning to arrest
and their violent
people.
responses.
Well, so the question still remains: if you were to be the minister for power for one day, what would you do? 0913-600-410. Now, guys, let's talk. What is Nigeria's biggest energy problem today?
So I have a feedback, one feedback from our last conversation about net metering. So I've been asking key energy players, and from the look of things, it won't be that thing you are dreaming that because you have 3 solar panels and 1 you'll be selling power back. You might be looking at minimum of generating capacity of 100 kilowatts.
Yes.
Or 1 megawatt. It might be like you must be generating
cap,
substantial energy. And I think the reason for that policy is to also make sure that there's sanity in it.
Yes.
That would limit the number of points they have to manage where everybody from 5 kV to 2 kV is trying to push power back to the grid. So I'm following up on that. So Dogu, you have to find a way to adjust your dream to dream bigger to match some parameters.
So what is our problem today?
In the
energy sector, is it a generation?
If you go to Talking Watts on Instagram, right? There's Talking Watts on Instagram now. We publish news about energy every day.
Yes.
And there was a news we published recently about the discos, how they lost over 300 and something billion within a quarter.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about it now. So they buy power from transmission company, like from the Gencos, right? And let's say you bought, I'm just giving an example, 1,000 units. Your plan is that if I bought 1,000 units at maybe 200,000 naira, let me sell it at 240,000 naira so I can make 40,000 naira. Guess what? They are buying power at 200,000 naira. And by the time they collect all the money they made throughout that time, maybe they are making 180,000 naira. So these costs are at loss. And what they are losing money to is that, one, energy cannot be accounted for.
That's right.
All those energy that they tap for street lights, all those energy that somebody tap from wire, all those wire that they hang at night and remove in the day, all those things. That's so unaccounted energy and energy thefts, vandalization, and poor metering.
That's right.
You just look at you like this, as a Dogu like this, your bill should be 50,000. No metering, nothing. And they look at the other person, they can look at the gentle up like this and say, because you're a politician, same load, your bill is 500,000.
You are still calling him politician.
So that's one problem. So that's the distribution leg, right? And that's why I see that sometimes they're reluctant to quickly come, and that was a conversation about transformer. Who pays for transformer? So there's responsibility of paper and there's responsibility in the actual life. Then transmission lines are old and weak. They can't carry the kind of power, the kind of energy demand that we have. So our central transmission line needs to be upgraded and scaled up. So those are the challenges that are up there. Right?
Now, should we? Or I don't know if you have anything to say.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so should we focus on fixing the national grid, or government should just focus on looking for alternative energy?
I think government is working
solution?
hard in the alternative route, and that's why they're really supporting a lot of mini grids.
Okay.
Through the Rural Education Agency. So meaning that if we can't fix the central big system,
That's right.
let's have small pockets of energy in different places. And coupled with the fact that now people that have excess energy can now sell back their reserve energy to the grid.
Policy,
that also helps too. So meaning that if I'm in this area now and there's so much power, I might not have to use the main highway, which is the main transmission line to transmit energy back. I can use the same infrastructure that supplies our vicinity to
just give
add
a
my
neighbor
energy. Yes, so
to
the disco will find a way to direct that energy to my neighbor or something like that.
Okay, so there's a message here, but it's not relating to being the power minister for power for one day. She says, good afternoon. My name is Daniela from Ikeja. Please, I have a solar panel issue, or I have a solar issue. And it doesn't provide enough energy into my building. What should I do?
Beg the sun god.
That's one. then another thing.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know if that's what she's asking, but I think that's what she's trying to ask here.
So undersizing. The solar panel is not the proper size.
Yes.
So meaning that demand is more than supply.
Okay.
So the load she has is more than what the solar panel can generate. That's one. Two, dust. We've said that countless times.
Yeah.
But rain has been recently, so most solar panels are not so dirty. They are quite clear now.
Yeah.
So obstruction can also be that maybe you are in between buildings and buildings always cast shadow quickly, towers, masts, and several other things. Yeah. So those are the things I was See.
Yeah, to reduce the energy supply.
The output. So.
All right, it's still Mainland 98.3 FM, and of course, it's still Talking What right here and on Mainland 98.3 FM, and it's brought to you by RevoCube Energies, and the guys are very much in the studio. Just in case you also have problems with your solar panel or your machine at home, they're also here to take your questions, and they're still asking that deep question: if you were to be the Minister of Power for just one day, what would you do? So far, we've taken messages. Some people say they will arrest the people that take the light. Some people also say, someone even says he's going to arrest the previous Minister of Power. Ask him, you know, why do you always say that? Someone said he's going to fix the national grid to ensure that it doesn't collapse
Everybody
again. So
that when they wanted to fix it, something happened. So that's what you got to check first.
I
They
think
had
so.
good
I think
intentions.
the REA project has really helped in terms of, for instance, now there are places,
Remote places that
remote
grid
places
grid
that
never get there in
even
10
to
years.
take grid there.
It's
The question is,
costly.
what's the ROI?
So the cost of taking the grid there
It's better that you just stay on.
is
on
enough
that.
to set up their own independent grid. The cost of running
just running-
the 33 kV
yes.
line or 11 kV line to go and supply
That
those
is-
villages, that cost alone, we set up a sustainable energy solution for them
That's
that will run for the next 15 years there.
Wow. Okay, so let's give out the numbers now.
Yes.
Let's give out the phone numbers for RevoCube. God knows I will not go to allow you do it. But let's take it from Okpe this time around. So Okpe, let's give out the numbers just in case, you know, people also want to come visit the powerhouse.
Yes,
I call it the
yes.
powerhouse because I have been there. I have seen the machines that are there. It's not small, you know. At first I thought I was in an advanced NEPA office. Because they were talking big. They were saying this is a machine that powers this. If this one goes off, this one comes on immediately. It was like, it sounded like the national grid, you know. And these guys were looking so fresh to the point that every single place in that building has an AC that is powered by their solar panel. So what is stopping you as a citizen of Nigeria or as a citizen of Lagos, you know, to move away from the problem of staying in darkness, to be on the side that always has light, just like my neighbor, you know, enjoy the good life, you know. So you can also get the opportunity to have a solar panel in your house. Yeah. So they're going to call their numbers now, and please, I want to beg you, please take down the number, call them, stop giving Sheyi opportunity to come and install in your house. It's just an electrician, you know. I'm just saying, you know. So because he cannot call the phone out properly. It's a nepo kid.
He was in bedroom voice. 0 I'm like, hey.
Okay, so well, let's take the numbers and the address.
All right, you can reach us on 091 39686844. That's one. You can also reach us on 070-6605-3090. Yes, in case you can't reach us on the first number, you can reach us on the second number, 091 39686844 or 070-6605-3090. All right, you can also go to our website on www.revocubeenergies.com. You can reach us on Instagram at Revocube_energies. Yes, you can reach us
or
there.
Talking What?
Talking What.
For the
You can
news
check-
part,
yes.
just news.
So you can reach us anywhere. Just Google it.
RevoCube Energies, yeah.
RevoCube Energies.
Find us anywhere.
You will find us there.
So just like they said, they're everywhere. They're both on social media as well, or you can visit their website, or you can just take a stroll, you know, to their office at the Keja. You know, pay them a visit, ask them questions. They will answer you. They'll provide that solution for you. You know, so guys, still on the Minister for Power thing. You know, so what role should private companies or private sectors play in solving Nigerians' problem? You guys are already doing one at the moment, you know, being the energy provider or alternative energy providers out there. So what role should other companies play? Because today businesses are failing. A lot of people are shutting down early.
The richest man in Africa is also considering it now, going to power generation.
Do you understand? So it's something that everybody's going to do one day. So what role should we play? What should we do?
So private sector in our own bit, right? So the private sector, I would say the residential and commercial grid, right? On the residential level, I think accountability comes in place. If we reduce energy thefts and we allow discos to make money, there's a high tendency that they will invest more in infrastructure. But they can't keep losing billions month in, month out, and you expect them to quickly replace a transformer and you don't have a politician on your streets.
That's right.
So it's a major problem, right? Starts on the private level. On commercial level, I think a lot of business that can afford can afford to generate alternative power, because one of the things is that most businesses avoid the capital expenditure, even if they know clearly that this has a super good ROI, and they just don't want to pull out that capital fund to invest in renewable or alternative energy.
That's right.
So private sector need to come out of their shell and try something new, because most of the people that make decisions are not yet comfortable with renewable energy. And the third thing is that private sector, or some of them, they are not. Some people don't have clear guidelines on how to even come into the play. What are the policies? If I invest my money now and say, okay, I'm providing this and I'm supplying to the grid or something like that, what policy? How long will this policy last? Will another government come tomorrow and say that, oh, this, for example, now let's say this net metering now. Let's say we started net metering. I'm just as an example, right? And I'm generating up to excess of 200 kilowatts. I decided to put it back to the grid. I joined the net metering program.
At what point?
A new government comes the next month or another time and says that, oh, sorry, we're not doing net metering again. What happens to my investment? So that stability in terrain also can affect private commercial people in the private sector. So those are my own takes on it.
Okay.
Yes, my thought would be that if for private people who are buoyant enough to set up those things, even as a form of CSR. So, for instance, say you want to do CSR in a polytechnic.
CSR, power to the people.
I'm just saying, if you choose that, okay, maybe 3-4 companies, right? Like we see in our universities where buildings are coming up and say that this so complex for this, right? They can also do that in terms of energy, and then see that, okay, this school, you are off grid. And gradually like that, the power demand in those places,
so they are freeing up the power.
So they free up so that the real people who really need power for day to day.
Everybody needs power, but
Yes.
priority. So, like I said, what I said earlier about the load shedding, you put it on and off for those who think should be prioritized.
Yes, now. Imagine being in an office and from 9 to 4 there is no power in that office and they run on gen. Look at that, and you are doing that for almost 4
And
times
some offices, when they are running on gen, they can't run
4 times a week.
Yes.
So productivity drops.
Yes. So all of those things.
Then before you know, you hear something like start working from home. And the heat is too much.
And that's why I see that some people, they look at their time. Once it's 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, bam, closed.
All right, guys.
So I think it's
just before we go, let's look at the future.
Yeah.
Let's look at 2030, 2017, 2028. What's the plan for the future? What's energy going to look like?
So for me, first of all, I believe Nigeria will have a lot of energy diversification.
Okay.
That's right.
Especially in the next 5 years, the direction will be very vast. Second thing, I think e-mobility will be mainstream. In fact, one of the criteria of people coming to visit your venue, I said it several times, that might be like you must have a charging station on your premise. So you will see even places of worship, public places, charging stations will be almost everywhere. So diversification and e-mobility will be mainstream in our energy sector.
Okay,
those two things,
Yes. Following that thought, truly, diversification would happen, because the truth of the matter is, like I've always said, you want alternative energy, whether in terms of e-mobility. I mean, we're coming from somewhere.
Maybe nuclear will join.
Yes. We're coming from a conference now, and then all that we're talking about there is about how to provide power into interior places, how to provide power, e-mobility especially. I mean, if you look around us, the bikes have already taken it over in terms of the dispatch riders and all of those. You have tricycles in terms of e-mobility.
Sorry to cut you short. Speaking of dispatch riders who are going into the whole electric something, I had somebody complain yesterday, and he said that, look, these bikes are dangerous because you don't hear them coming.
Hey!
And I asked him why. He said because he has almost knocked one down the that day. He was trying to trafficate to the left, and the bike was coming from the left.
And they still ride like normal.
They still ride their normal way.
You've seen our 6.5 ton trucks, right?
Yes.
As big as that truck is, when it's right behind you, you can't hear its sound because it's fully electric.
So how do we fix this?
Press your on. Papa.
See, so for every innovation, the truth of the matter is there is a side to it. Okay. There's a downside to it. So, for instance, if it's all quiet, I've seen it happen over and over again, truly. In fact, on the street, you'll be driving and press your on. You just have to do that. If that is what we would do to make you aware.
Or maybe we'll put speaker, they'll put sound in it so that I can hear the engine sound.
But truly, I think that's just what it is.
Well, I like it. The quietness is good, because it helps reduce the noise pollution, around. Right. Imagine you staying in an estate and everybody's driving an electric vehicle.
Those yellow things don't send pollution. No.
What yellow things?
You know now. Those yellow things with black stripes.
Larry, leave Danfo people. I'm trying to imagine Danfo turning electric. How it look like.
Oh,
The
boy,
city will just be quiet.
It will be sweet.
The city will be quiet.
It will be quiet.
It will be a new level of danger. I promise.
Yes, yes,
You will
yes.
see connecting
Yes.
wire at 600 volts with plier. I bet.
I was about to
danger
ask
will be in
that because
thing.
I've entered Danfo.
Hey.
I entered Danfo, you know, and I'm sure she doesn't enter Danfo anyways. But I entered
Definitely.
Danfo and I see them joining two wires together to start their vehicle.
I've entered Danfo. They use wire as throttle.
As throttle.
Yes, wire. We'll put the wire as throttle.
So how do we now?
I've entered Danfo without brakes.
Don't mention.
We have to
almost-
go.
yes.
We have to go.
That's why I said you
But-
don't mention.
Because there's a situation coming.
All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show this afternoon on Talking Watts, proudly brought to you by Rivercube Energies. We're back same time next week, Thursday, for more updates and, of course, more talk on everything that has to do with alternate solution or alternative energy out there. So please stay safe, you know, stay out of trouble, enjoy the day, and, of course, see you same time next week. I still remember.